This is the 2024 Honda Accord Hybrid and the 2024 Honda CR-V Hybrid. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. For those of you who are on the fence and trying to make a decision on whether you want to go with the Accord or the CR-V, you know you want to have a hybrid vehicle from Honda, but you're not sure which one of these models is best for you. In today's Vehicle Visionary video that I'm filming at Holmes Honda today, I'm going to give you the information to help make a decision on that. And there are obviously going to be some similarities and most certainly some differences between the two. Let's start with pricing. The Accord Hybrid, I should say, starts at $32,895. If you would like to know about the base price on the CR-V Hybrid, it's $34,050. You can get the Accord in front-wheel drive only. However, the CR-V Hybrid comes with front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So if you're looking for an all-wheel drive option, then the CR-V is going to definitely be your pick. When it comes to the exterior, well, neither model really looks that much alike, which I think is appropriate. However, there are some differences to talk about here beyond just cosmetics. These are both the Hybrid Sport L models. Obviously, there are multiple trim levels you can choose from, but here's the difference. On the Sport L Accord, you will find power adjustable side view mirrors with blind spot information system built in. You'll find the same thing here on the CR-V, but here's the difference. On the CR-V, you're going to find turn signal indicators built in and the side view mirrors are heated. You will not find turn signal indicators built in or heated power side view mirrors on the Accord. Other than that, they are basically the same in that respect. They both have a conventional size sunroof, and as far as the powertrain goes for each model, they are identical, whether we're looking at the Accord or the CR-V. We're going to have a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder paired with dual electric motors that definitely help to give both models a sporty driving experience. 204 combined horsepower, 247 pounds-feet of torque. Now, they are both mated to eCVTs. Would you like to see Honda maybe offer something else besides an eCVT for these models? Now, one difference we're going to find is obviously going to be related to MPGs, gas mileage. Let's see what we have here. With the Accord, we're looking at 46 city, 41 highway, 44 combined, and 2.3 gallons of gas. The Accord has a 12.8 gallon gas tank. And the CR-V comes in with 43 miles per gallon city, 36 highway, 40 combined, 2.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven, and it has a 14-gallon gas tank. In the interest of fair reporting, there is one more big difference when it comes to raising the hood. And when we look at the Accord, it's found right here. You have a manual prop rod on the Accord. On the CR-V, you have the hood struts that help to open and keep the hood up. I don't think most people are too concerned about that, but it's worth mentioning. I have actually had people say they would rather have a vehicle that has the hood struts as opposed to the manual prop rod. Just as was the case with the front end and really the front to rear and side exterior looks of both vehicles. Well, they're going to have some differences. You'll just have to choose which one you like most based on that respect. But there are some differences to talk about back here as far as how things work and cargo capacity. Now you'll notice that is not actually a power trunk, but it is dampened. It comes up very easily. Once you open it just a tiny bit, it begins to open itself up. You don't have to do anything. Now we do have a power tailgate here on the CR-V, but here's something that is interesting. And I am going to do a video comparing the non-hybrid versions of the Accord and the CR-V in a future video very soon, so keep an eye out for that. But here's something to consider. If you go with the Accord Hybrid or a non-hybrid version of the Accord, the cargo capacity remains the same at 16.7 cubic feet. You will pull on these releases to lower the rear seat backs flat, as you see I have done right there. Very easy to deal with. Now, you will find cargo capacity differences between the CR-V Hybrid and the non-hybrid versions of the CR-V. So if you go non-hybrid, you're looking at 39.3 to 76.5 cubic feet. And that all has to do with the floor, which is this area right here. So you can actually change its position and make it deeper. That's how you get more cargo capacity. However, when you go hybrid, that's going to change just a little bit, from 39.3 cubic feet down to 36.6 cubic feet, up to 76.5 cubic feet. Neither model comes with a spare tire. Now, there is a spare tire kit for the Accord. I think there's also one for the CR-V. One way or another, there are some options where that's concerned for you to consider. And in the interest of convenience, here's something to consider. If I want to lower the rear seats of the Accord, I pull right there, and then all I have to do is come right here. Unless I have really long arms or want to hop into the interior of the trunk, I can come here to the interior and just lower the seats flat. Why do I show that? I show that because you don't have those same kinds of releases here in the CR-V. You actually have the release right here on the back of the seats. However, it is a little bit more tricky to get that down all the way because there's basically multiple spots where the seat goes and locks into place. Eventually, you get to a place where you can lay it over flat like that. It would be nice if there were some buttons back here. Maybe just push that button and in one motion, the rear seats would fold flat. Just my thought on the matter. And we'll start with the back seat of the Accord. What about the armrest? Well, it seems to be pretty comfortable, I'd say. Not the biggest armrest, but I think it will do the job. The door bin itself is fairly large. There is a little bit of extra storage space in the rear seat pocket right here. Now, there is no air conditioning vents or USB connectivity back here, so just something to keep in mind where that is concerned. And while these rear seats don't actually move back and forth as far as being able to change the angle, they do have some built-in recline to them, so that's nice to have. And we'll also find the fold-down armrest here. That is going to be very, very comfortable, very soft and padded. Obviously, the cup holder's built in. And for you parents out there, here is the latch system. So you can see that all you have to do is basically fold that flap down and you gain access to your latch right there, the latch system for your child safety seats. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, both of these models have the identical size sunroof. They are both conventional size, and they do tilt and slide open. When it comes to rear seat legroom, well, I tell you what, let me make sure I'm sitting all the way up here. I have no shortage of space. Now, a lot of that's going to vary depending on where the front seats are set. And what about headroom? Yes, I'm wearing a hat today, but you can still see that I have some space above my head. If I was over 6 feet tall, I could probably just sit a little lower in the seat. And then I should be able to fit back here okay. Here in the back seat of the CR-V, well, quite a bit more space where the armrest is concerned. Part of that is because this area is completely flat. If that was the same way in the Accord, well, the differences really would be, there really would be no differences basically. It would be about the same. And the door bin right there, plenty of space in that area to put a bottle and some other items as well. And you'll also find the rear seat pocket here on the back of the passenger seat, but not over there on the driver's side. So there's a consistency. However, one thing that is different here between these two models, well, you're looking at it. You do have rear air conditioning vents and USB connectivity for your rear seat passengers. And so if that is something that is important to you, then that is something that you might want to consider as to which model you buy. These seats do recline back, as you can see, and we also have our built-in cup holders, the armrest right here. The difference here is the design ultimately, in that not only is it higher up, I think that's better because of its usefulness. I don't have to lean way down and look like I forgot to drink my V8 as I lean to the side and don't stand straight up or sit straight up to use this armrest. And the positioning of the cup holders. Instead of being in more of a parallel position, they're vertical like this. I really like that a lot more because you could have a cup in each or bottle in each one and still use this area as an armrest. And let's take a look at the latch system here. Even more simplified than what we saw with the Accord because they're just exposed. They're ready to be used whenever you're ready to use them. And once again, they're is the sunroof. And since some people ask me for pricing on the vehicles that are in the video, on the CR-V, we're looking at a sticker price of $38,855. And as you might expect, the Accord will be the less expensive of the two with a sticker price of $36,425. Here in the interior of the CR-V, well, we'll see some similarities, but we're definitely going to see a lot of differences too. On the driver's side door, everything you expect to see here is obviously going to be here. You do have seat memory for the driver only, not on the passenger side, but two different settings there. Traction control right here, turn that on and off, and then you can control the power tailgate back there. You can also control the positioning of the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescopically adjustable. You drop that release and take care of repositioning the steering wheel. Here is your digital instrument cluster. And one thing that is going to be different between the two, just really digging down into some of the differences, you'll notice that when the headlights are on, you have that indicator right there. So I'll turn the headlights off, that goes away. And you'll see why I say that when we hop into the Accord, because there is a big difference where that's concerned. Most people are likely not too concerned about that, but you never know. I might as well show it to you. Over here on the left-hand side of the instrument cluster, you can see I'm scrolling through everything right there as far as that goes. If I wanted to select something, I could just push on the scroll wheel right there, hit home to go back home. Pretty easy to deal with. Here are your steering wheel mounted controls. Now, for those of you who may want to know what these are, they look like shifter paddles. They're actually how you control the regenerative braking if you want to increase or decrease what you want to do with that. Pretty interesting how that works. Now there is a big difference right here. Now first off, that flickering effect you see is going to be due to my camera. It is not actually happening. If you were sitting here in the vehicle, you wouldn't see that. So it's not a defect or anything like that. But this is the 9-inch touchscreen. A nice modern look and feel to it. Very easy to use. When you go into your vehicle settings, well, it's pretty easy to figure out what you need to do and where it's located. If you are having trouble with your power tailgate, well, you can go in here and make sure that power is on. And you could turn that off if you wanted to, but we're not going to leave it that way because I think most people are going to want that to be on. We do have the multi-view rear view cameras, although there's only 3 views here. I would like to see Honda, maybe in the future, add multiple camera views all around the vehicle, similar to what we see with the Honda Pilot. And we'll also have wireless capabilities for your cell phone to pair your phone to this screen. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility will be here. And dual zone climate control, here's how you're going to control the 3 stages of the heated seats. It's almost like having multiple stages of nitrous oxide, except it's a 3-stage heated seat system. Doesn't really make the car go any faster, that's for sure. But you do have your dual zone climate control here. You can sync those 2 sides together if you want to, or they can be set separately by the driver and the passenger. Now you will find USB connectivity here in the front seat area, as well as a 12-volt power outlet, wireless charging pad, and here is the shifter. Pretty easy to figure out what is there. Now, as far as your driving modes go, there are multiple driving modes. Let's go through those and see. We're going to start with, in fact, we'll go all the way up here to Sport. You will start with normal. When you turn the vehicle off, it defaults back to normal. It would be nice if it stayed in the driving mode you were last in, but we have Econ and we have Snow. So those are your driving modes. You can see everything that's down here as far as your power, parking, brake hold mode, all of that. Your cup holders, and here is the center console. Now there is a lot of space on there as an armrest. Maybe could stand to be a little bit higher. Just depends on who you are and I guess how you position your seat. And within the center console, there is some space, quite a bit of space actually. And here with the upper console, you have a sunglass holder. You can control the positioning of your sunroof, and you can see the other controls that are up there and your reading lights. Now let's hop into the Accord and see what the differences are. And if you want differences, well, here they are. First of all, the overall look of the dash area. We're going to have a completely different look as far as the design goes. Here on the instrument cluster, remember I was talking about the headlights. Well, You see the likeness of the Accord right there in the center under the digital speedometer. When I turn on the headlights, there is how you know they are on. And that's not all you get right there. When you put your foot on the brake, you can see that the taillights come on. And when you go into drive, it gets down into position. It's almost a ready, set, go sort of thing as far as that goes. Now, it doesn't do that in reverse. It only does that in drive. So if you were curious, there is your answer. And pretty much the same thing here with our steering wheel mounted controls. A little bit of a different look, but everything is basically the same. You still have your regenerative braking paddles right here. Those are not shifter paddles, and everything will be the same here. As far as the functionality goes, a little bit of a different look for the controls over here on the driver's side door panel. You will have your 2 settings for seat memory, so that's good to know. The big difference here is going to be right here. For those who say the 9-inch touchscreen is too small, how about the 12.3-inch touchscreen that is currently only available in the Accord Hybrid? Would you like to see that offered on other models of Hondas, depending on what you might want to buy? It just depends. Now, you'll notice that there's a similar look, but a little bit of a different look at the same time as far as the overall look and design. It still works the same, very simple, but when we go into vehicle settings, here is the difference. I told you that was going to be different compared to what we saw with the CR-V. It's not a bad thing. I think it's nice. It may look a little more complicated, but it really isn't. It's just a matter of using what I like to call the hunt and peck method to figure out your way around. Same thing here, the rear view camera, the multi-view rear view camera. And again, I would like to see Honda maybe offer more camera views, including a front view camera and maybe the cameras in the mirrors, the side view mirrors as well in this Accord and the CR-V. Once again, the 3 stages of heated seats, dual zone climate control, everything the same there. We also have our USB connectivity, but here on the Accord Hybrid Sport L, we do not have the 12-volt power outlet in this area, and we do not have a wireless charging pad. The shifter is basically the same, but something else that will be different, you can see what we have here. When we go through our driving modes, they show up on the center screen. So we actually start in normal, and we'll go to Econ, and then go up to Sport, and there actually is an individual mode. So you can customize different aspects of the vehicle to operate in different ways. So as you can see, for example, with the Powertrain, you have Econ, Normal, and Sport. And you'll see how everything works. Normal and Sport for steering. We'll also have Econ and Normal for adaptive cruise control. And then your gauges can change as well. So there's a lot going on here to talk about where that is concerned. There are your cup holders. The center console doesn't sit quite as high. It depends on where your seats are set on how that's going to work. Now, there is one thing here that is definitely different. You notice I didn't say anything about a 12-volt power outlet not being here because it's located right there. Now, the advantage to that is that that could be used to take an adapter and give it to your rear seat passengers for USB connectivity. The lid will still close with that being there. That's not a problem. But tell me what you think. Which interior do you like better? And what is it like to drive these 2 models? Well, plenty of interior room to keep driver and passengers comfortable. Ride quality is good with both, but if I had to choose one over the other as far as the smoothest driving experience goes, I would actually give that to the CR-V. Handling, well, obviously that's going to go to the Accord because of its lower stance and lower center of gravity. It holds the road really well. Both models definitely will get the job done. Tell me what you think. Which one is best for you? I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me both of these models for the day. Don't forget there are links in the description of the video to these 2 models. You can also use that link to, or those links I should say, to go to the Holmes Honda website to look at additional vehicles. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. If you haven't subscribed just yet, please be sure to do so. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.